the weaponization of international law, of its institutions, of human rights. That weaponization in the war against the State of Israel for the hearts and minds of public opinion. And we know that that is how the ICC is utilized. We know it because the Palestinian Authority said it very clearly. We have failed politically, and we are going to utilize the legal capabilities of the ICC as an institution in order to advance what we have failed politically. That doesn't undermine just the State of Israel's ability to confront its challenges. That undermines the international community's ability to confront its challenges, to democracy, to the protection, to uphold, promote, and protect the human rights of peoples all over the world. Hamas, a genocidal terror organization hell-bent on the destruction of the State of Israel, not differentiating between its Muslim, Jewish, Christian, Buddhist citizens, and willing to utilize in any way that they absolutely can from within their own civilian population, jeopardizing the safety of their own civilians. Those 2 million Gazans, they're held hostage by the very same terror organization, just as the people of Iran, the women of Iran, the journalists of Iran are held hostage by the terror Iranian regime. The State of Israel, because of its value and prioritization of life, has created Iron Dome, a system intended to protect all of its citizens, Jews and Arabs, Christian and Buddhists. Everybody is protected by Iron Dome. And on the other hand, what we do know is that Hamas is utilizing those rockets that they're shooting from within and using as human shields the civilians that they are shooting from, knowing that the State of Israel, a sovereign state, just like any other sovereign state, has a responsibility to its citizens to protect their lives and must respond. It's very important that we understand that the inability of the State of Israel to combat and address the challenge the terror poses in that moral equivalency that's created by counting numbers, that inability, that's not just about Israel. That's about the attack on democracies worldwide. That's about an attack on the rules-based order. And the weaponization of international law and human rights actually prevents any country from being able to address terror in any way, shape, or form, whether it's a terror organization, individual, or regime. Because the imperative to demand for Israel what every other country takes for granted, i.e., recognition of the right to exist. The very fact that we need to talk about that is what singles out the State of Israel, the Jew among the nations. There is no other country in the world whose right to exist is questioned. The very right of the State of Israel to exist as what it was founded to be, i.e. Jewish and democratic. And that is a point that we have to remember and make very clearly.